Hey, little bass guy. Good morning. How you doing? I gotta go to the bathroom really fast. I'll be out as soon as possible. Yeah, I gotta get my slippers on. All that thing. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. We get back into position here. Oh my goodness. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. Woo. You ever turn the stream on and your stomach is just like, no. Woo. Well, that's happened. Obviously, I wouldn't have even done it. And I felt it. I kind of felt it when right before I turned it on. But I was like, maybe it's just, there's a little, just a little rumbling here and there. But no, it was more. The enemy was at the gates. But here we are. Enough about that, okay? Hello. Good morning. My name is Ace, okay? I'm something of an artist myself. Welcome. Welcome to the stream, okay? We're going to be finishing continuing our mesh here. We're working on the boots. We're working our way up the laces here. This will be I'm very new when it comes to topology, doing it manually. I'm used to using Z Remesher, but I don't have a ZBrush license, so we're relearning everything on Blender. That's where we're at. These meshes here we're creating to be used as reference for a webcomic that I have already written. I've been pretty focused on that lately. I'm working on some stream art. I had a pretty chill weekend. It rained pretty hard the other day, and I am editing the first act of the webcomic. I read ahead a little bit. I think we won't have to do too much, but I wanted to focus on Act 1. The prologue is done. Okay, we need 7 of these meshes here, so we can start doing the character concepts and turnarounds. I mean, I guess we could uh, just do the meshes and call it a day. But I want to see the characters in the art style as well. I don't know if I'll be able to do everything on stream, because if I do that, we're not gonna get done anytime soon. All right, so I've been working on a lot of stuff off stream as well. But currently I got a little animation idea that I'm doing, so I've been doing that as well. Okay, let's get started. All right, what are we doing? What are we doing here? We're going. Okay, I was doing that. We got to get that circle and this circle. Apparently, we didn't. Must have missed that. I didn't think I was going to be able to render the scene I was working on yesterday. It kept failing to even render a preview, indicating that I was running out of VRAM, even though I actually wasn't. This is in Blender. It's a super complicated scene. I had it render all night, and then when I left for work this morning, it was at 4%. Oh, well, I've heard that it could take a long time to render stuff. I haven't actually rendered anything that big yet. I think I've only ever rendered just the character without any background, just to see a proof of concept of what I was doing when I was learning how to do this. But I heard it could take a while. That's why I've definitely made some upgrades to my system uh last year, and I want to see how it fares with renders. But we don't have any real scenes yet, so we have a ways to go before we test that. I am curious about that. That's one of the reasons why I want to keep we're doing the low poly mesh here. We're going to be working with that instead of the high poly, and keeping everything as low poly as possible. Daz Studio. I have no, well, I've dabbled in Daz. That was the first 3D program actually. I think I've told you this already, that I've actually gotten. I was just posing the default 3D scales, and I found this add-on where you could You can it was like a in-game character creator type add-on, like you know the types of character creations you would do in a video game, like Fallout or Black Desert. You could do the same thing in Daz with the sliders and just and create characters that way. But I would say about, let's see, that was in 2018. As soon as I got done finishing writing the first draft of my story, and I would say about over the next year or two, that was how I was doing my characters. And but the you know the curiosity towards actually sculpting it from scratch was growing more and more, and then eventually I was like, oh yeah, you know what, let's try sculpting something, see if we can grasp that, we can learn it. I wasn't sure if I could, but I'm glad that I was able to learn it relatively quickly. But that's how I started. I think it's a bug in the program. This happens from time to time. I don't know if it's a certain type of material or what, but I watch my task manager and it barely dents my resources. Yeah, I don't have anything to add to that. Like I said, I dabbled in that program. I probably could have just kept using it, but I don't know. I wanted to try ZBrush and Blender and Maya, like really get into like the beefier side of things because I wanted to see how far I could push this medium. I'm pretty satisfied with it so far, but yeah, I probably could have stayed with Daz. I just didn't even know you could sculpt something in Daz. Uh, actually, I don't really know much about that program to be honest. For as much as I used it, like I said, I've only really used the default sculpts and uh, just posed them that way. It looks to me like what is happening is it's trying to fall back to CPU rendering when I try to render on the GPU, hence the slow speed. However, if I deliberately tell it to CPU render, it crashes. Does DAZ 3D have an option to where you can allocate more memory or any kind of resource? That was you. You said you had a 4090, right? I'm gonna delete these because we need to uncover this, and we're gonna do that. I'm gonna move this edge away from the circle, like so. I know because like I can go. I think you can do that here. Yeah, system. Yeah, you can memory and limits here. I don't know much about this, but I think I actually added this number. I put 100 in what is it, six, oh 132, 120, sorry. Oh wait, it was six, yeah, yeah. 120 gigs of RAM in my system. I think, didn't I forget, I'm sorry. I don't think about that stuff anymore. Let me go to my about. Okay, yeah, 128. Sorry, I don't know why I kept thinking 120 or 132. I don't know why. 128 gigabytes. So I put the memory cache limit to 80. I could probably go further than that because I get some lag when I get to like 12 million polygons. I would like for that to be larger, even though I kind of enjoy being limited because it allows me to work on getting my you know my intent across with less uh strokes, I guess, with less effort, with less resources. It does. It has full access to my GPU because I'm typically not using it for anything else while it's rendering. I usually do my renders overnight. Typically, don't let it CPU render at all. Yeah, I don't even know if that would work on my end. I mean, I have a pretty decent CPU, but it's not a GPU, so the things that I would need it for are pretty intensive. So I don't have to worry about that though. My GPU gets the job done. So what kind of GPU do you have? You have the 4090, right? Wasn't that you who said that? Somebody I was in the stream. I kind of forget because I'm in so many. I just leave the stream on. I haven't really been. I think this weekend they started. No, it was yesterday. As a matter of fact, they started SGDQ. I was watching that, and then someone that I was following popped on. I watched them for a bit, but I think that was yeah, it was Molly Creates. Watching her stream. She's doing some uh some art projects in Maya. What are we at? Okay, I wanted to take a look at this area because that looked kind of weird with in front turned off. I wanted to, it's kind of clipped in the bottom, so I wanted to refresh on my memory on how that looks. I kind of have to play a little memory game here, remember, because I don't know how to have this activated with the background still up and not show everything behind it. But I'm doing okay for right now. I'm using iRay as my render engine, which is made by NVIDIA, and it requires CUDA cores to work, so it doesn't make sense at all to involve the CPU in its rendering. In rendering, the CPU doesn't contribute meaningfully to at all to the render, and it locks the whole thing down if you involve it. So I just have it GPU render only. Is CUDA set up properly? Because sometimes you have to kind of watch how that's sometimes there are updates to that, and I would say search online and see if there's anyone out there who has a problem with a certain graphics driver in CUDA, because that could be a thing too with compatibility with those two together. In front, oh, I'm clicking on nothing. That's why I'm not getting any results. All right. Let's see. What if I do loop cut and slide? I want to put a cut right there, or a loop, whatever. I actually don't know what I did because I can't see it. What did I do? All right, I'm gonna pretend that I didn't do anything. Let me see here. What I want to do is I want to take and I want to make a smaller square here so I can intersect it into the shoestring that comes across here. Considered that possibility, but my research does is if people have this problem and nobody knows the answer. This problem has been around for years, though. Several NVIDIA driver updates. So either it's an issue with the driver and NVIDIA just isn't fixing it, or as I suspect, it's an issue like a memory leak with DAS. Either way, no one has the answer. Yeah, it's probably the program then. I don't remember updating DAS for anything. Um, I don't know if it receives like current updates, or at least updates of of that you know magnitude, or updates that would fix that. But it's been a while since I used it, so I can't really say for sure what DAS does. And then on top of that, I didn't really fully utilize the program because I had no idea what I was doing. Like I said, I just literally just loaded in the default mesh person and took an add-on and adjusted it to make it try to look like my character before I started sculpting. Okay, so I see what's going on here. We need to completely remove this one. I don't even know. I don't even remember this being here, to be honest. Let's delete that face, and then we could just pick up from here. Refresh my little memory here. All right, we're gonna make that a little smaller, and then we're just gonna extrude. I think we can turn that off because we want to make sure that it follows the shoestring or the bootstring. Okay, hold on, wait, we got to go back. I've noticed that it most commonly happens in renders where I'm using the Genesis 3 base figures. So it may be something to do with the mesh or rigging or UVs that with that particular base figure, and I have no clue how to determine that. I'm not a real 3D artist, and I don't really know how to get granular with that. I think I was using Genesis 2 because that specifically was the only the add-on I was doing that was using that could adjust the characters however you want. Only worked with Genesis 2. I don't know anything about Genesis 3. It looked better, but they didn't have that add-on for Genesis 3, so I just stuck with Genesis 2. We need to take and move this away from, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna switch to faces and then delete that face. That way we can just take the shoestring all the way to the loop and do the loop. And then we can just connect it all back together. That's gonna be the plan. Oh, I gotta select the what is edges? Edges, yeah, edge. Still getting edges and vertices mixed together for some reason. Okay, we're taking it all the way over. Yeah, I found some stuff for environments. I'm very willing to do a full scene. I guess the way I would do it was I would have the subject, whatever the subject is, have the most polygons and just low polygon everything else. I could work with that. If it's just for art, like I don't know, like I do have an interest in making a game, and I do have a few ideas. I just need to learn the programming side of it. And but yeah, I would like to I think actually would do the same thing, right? Like your main character would be the most detailed, the most polygons, and you can have like an NPC just be lower or not as detailed. I think most game companies do that already, unless it's something that is the people are the centric, uh, the people are the draw, right? Like I guess you would like I don't know, like a dating sim or something where the people are all the people are important, even the NPCs. So immediately after I typed that, someone walked up to my desk to serve a foreclosure, and I heard absolutely nothing you said in response. Okay, let's see. Let me go back. Okay, I said that I used Genesis 2 for Daz 3D, but there was the add-on only worked. The add-on that I was using, the character slider stuff that I've used to make my characters, only worked with Genesis 2. So even though the Genesis 3 looked better, I only was willing to use Genesis 2 because of that add-on. So I don't know much about Genesis 3. And I said that I would be willing to learn. I have the resources to be able to sit down and practice how to do an entire scene, and that uh, how I was thinking I would do the scene was I would just have the subject be the most detailed in the entire scene, whatever that may be, and then just have everything else like low poly. But and then I was saying that I think game companies do that already, where they have the main characters the most detailed, and then NPCs like not as detailed. We're up to Genesis 9 now, but I still have Genesis 3 base characters. This issue almost never pops up with 8, 8.1, or 9. Is there a reason why you're only using Genesis 3 then? Is it just for familiarity? Because that would be the reason why I would do it. It's like I don't want to, I don't know. Maybe they changed something. You don't want to. I mean, I'm already relearning my entire process right now, to be honest. So I don't really have a problem with that. But I would understand if that was the issue there. Or do you have to buy it, or is it expensive, or what? What are they doing? Are they doing like a subscription model like everybody else is doing? What's the goal? What's the dealio? Because if it wasn't like a huge obstacle, I would just use the latest Genesis if I was still using Daz. I don't have to worry about that now because I can just sculpt whatever I want, however I want, with as much detail as I want. I'd prefer that than what I was doing in Daz. Um, I didn't get too far in Daz, so I don't really know what is possible. But what I'm seeing is you can do animation. I think you can sculpt, right? You can sculpt in Daz, can't you? I yeah, I don't know. I'm not only using Genesis 3, I have Genesis 2, 8, 8.1, and 9 base. Oh, okay. So yeah, okay. So you said you had. It's just when you want to go back to your Genesis 3 characters. Then been able to make. I've been able to make new versions of my characters and new models, but it takes a lot of time, and it's typically easier to just use the old base model. Gotcha. Yeah. I don't know. Like this, like I said, this is enough information for me to use as a reference in my art. I'm confident that I could work with this, just this, even though this is like we're not close to done yet. We still have UV unwrapping, baking. We got to do put the textures on and then do the our little tweaks from there in the hair. But um, I would be more than willing to redo these characters like when I get more proficient in doing this. I don't know. Like me, I don't know. Maybe I could. Maybe maybe a future. I would be open to a future stream where we revisit these characters, but let's get them made first. Okay. I ain't gonna worry about redoing them over again. This is my first official. Hopefully, full. This will be my first fully done mesh right here. I have a lot of practice ones where it's just the bodies, but we're past that now. I feel like I can do the bodies fine. All right, just little tweaks here and there that we can use to improve. But now we're working on clothes, which I really don't do at all. And eventually we'll get clothes to where we have flesh. So yeah, I'm very curious about how all that will turn out in the future as far as making a mesh. Like what will I pick up? What will I learn? And how would I apply that knowledge to like future and past meshes? Because this is very like I really enjoyed doing this. This is pretty cool. I'm not super I'm not a pro, but I really enjoy this. This is more fun than I ever thought it would be. That's why I keep doing it. When I wasn't even sure, I wish I had kept. I wasn't really thinking about when I originally had the idea to do this. What I was going to do was I was going to just sculpt all my characters, just do it, and then once they were done, I was going to I had an idea to stream the part of me drawing them when I already had the references from using 3D. But then one day it occurred to me, I was like, you know what? Why don't I just stream this part? Because this is I mean I find it interesting, so I'm sure others would too. So I didn't get to go that far. So and I was at the point where I was like, okay, well I still don't know everything, but I want to stream it. I was like, well, you know what? Why not just learn it? Why not just learn it while I'm on the stream? It's not really a big deal. I don't have to. You don't always have to do something when you're at your best. I mean, if you just want to present something a certain way, that's one thing, right? But I'm not really concerned about that. We'll get there. I know I'll get there. It doesn't really matter if anyone's watching or not. So I just decided to just stream it, even though I didn't get to the point where I wanted to get to before I started. I've redone several of my Genesis 3 characters in Genesis 8 or 8.1, but I've only ever successfully done one in Genesis 9 because it's a completely different figure, and so it's hard to translate things over. Yeah. So is the UI is that different as well? Because I tell you when I was learning how to do this in Blender, there were and people were like, okay, yeah, you just gotta select this and this and this. And I'm like, oh, all right. And I go into those menus and those selections and things are not there at all. I'm like, oh man, they moved it, because what are we at? This is like Blender 4.0. I think I've got tutorials going back to like 2.1. Okay, because it's not easy to find specific tutorials, at least for free, right? So you're gonna get a lot of outdated stuff, and then you have to kind of fill in the blanks. Or you can pay an arm and a leg for a tutorial. It's up to you really, and it's not really a big deal. I know people gotta they gotta do something, right? There's a lot of good tutorials out there though. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to take 'cause some of them get pretty expensive. Like we're talking like hundreds of dollars for a simple tutorial. You got to do what you got to do, but I don't know. I didn't want to. I wasn't willing to do that, so I had to find other ways to learn how to do certain things. Uh, thankfully you can find a lot of things on YouTube. All right, so we got another loop, and it matches the other side. We put in front on. No, it's still the same program, but meshes, surfaces, everything is different in Genesis 9. Texturing Genesis 9 is a nightmare if you are used to doing it in 3 or 8. Thing is, the rigging in Genesis 9 is so much better. It's probably the easiest figure to pose. Oh, cool. Yeah, rigging was a whole other thing, man. I learned that. I did it. I learned how to do it manually, but I got a quicker way to do it too. And until I guess I'll probably use the faster way, unless it doesn't work with something like Unreal or Unity. I haven't tested the faster way with Unity or Unreal because when I did it manually, I was able to test my rigs with mocapped animations. They have free mocap animations that you can put in Unity, and you can test your rig that way. And it worked. It worked smoothly manually. I haven't done it with the shortcut way yet, which is basically you just generate an entire skeleton and you just fit it around your character. It works the same way though. It's just the and it saves so much time. So it's like I might as well do it this way. But if it doesn't work, if I ever do get around to making something like a game or something or something like that, then I'm going to have to see then if that method is still viable. I'm looking at I'm looking at the lining up these faces here. I think we can just do this. No, we don't want to use that one. We want to use this one. Rotate it up. We don't want to twist it up like that. How about that? Rigging in DAZ is so easy. You just import your figure from Blender, ZBrush, or whatever you made it, load it, load whatever Genesis base figure you want to use, and transfer the rigging from base figure to your figure and adjust accordingly. It takes 5 minutes. Oh, cool. That's good to know. I've already figured out how to rig it here. But I think I saw something somewhere where someone was rigging in DAZ. I was like, oh wow, you can rig in DAZ. I didn't know that. I just so much I didn't know like DAZ. I didn't look up anything with DAZ really. It just that was like as far as I got with it. I figured out most of it just from looking at posts and whatnot. But I may have seen a couple of YouTube videos just to get an idea of what to do in the program. But I really did not. I really did dabble in DAZ. That's the best way I could describe it. I never really used it to its full potential. If I had sat down with it like I did with ZBrush and Blender and a little bit, I did dabble in Maya as well, but I think that's probably even less than Daz. So just Blender, ZBrush, and Substance Painter. If I had sat down with Daz as much as I did the other two or other three, then yeah, I probably would be in Daz right now and not Blender. But I didn't know. I just didn't know you could do that stuff. If I had known, I would have done it. But when you think sculpt, you think Blender, ZBrush. Those are the things that I kept seeing the most. So I figured there was a reason why people would use those over Daz. So I went with those. I must say, yes, it is much easier, much more easier to sculpt in ZBrush because you just have so many options. It's really easy. Let me see. We're gonna dissolve this one. We don't need that there. It's a little rough here. A little rough. Let's try to make that a little better. I'm gonna take the time to fix this when I fill all this in. I don't know if I'm gonna do it on stream, but we're definitely gonna take a look at the topology and make sure it's all nice and neat. And then we're gonna have to remember next time, once we get a good idea of how to do this correctly, we can fix it on the fly. We can make sure it's not, I mean, for the most part, it's somewhat even, but places like here, it gets a little crunched here and here and here. But this part's not bad. And maybe this part, you could probably make some minor adjustments here, but this gets a little too much. But the general shape is there. You look at the mirrored boot, it looks like a boot. I mean, what more could I want for the project that I'm trying to do, right? Everything else, I feel like everything else will come with me just doing, more sculpts, more meshes. I think this is my, let's see, I did like 4, 5, maybe 6 practice sculpts. I'm not, and I only finished out of those. I've only finished one all the way, like with hair and whatnot. I just kept sculpting, but I had a method. I had a method down, but now I changed the method. We're not using ZBrush or Substance Painter anymore, so we kind of got to start over. In hindsight, I should have brought a license while they were still offering them. I don't want to go through a third party because I don't want to get scammed or anything. All right, but I should have bought it. If I would, I should have just made the purchase right then. It was a pretty big investment, so I didn't want to just buy it. I wasn't sure if I was going to grasp this as as well as I did, so I kind of held off. But in hindsight, I should have just got the license. Because then you'd be watching me in ZBrush right now instead of with Blender. But I still did things in Blender. I think at the time I still rigged in Blender and I did the hair in Blender. It was very hard for me to try to do it in ZBrush for some reason. I don't know why. That was before I had I was still sculpting on the streaming computer. This computer right here. I was still sculpting on this. This isn't as strong as the one that I got over here. You could probably see all the RGB stuff reflecting off my wall. It comes from this. The uh well, maybe not this one, but well, one of them would only, I couldn't change the color on a certain part, so I just left it all the same. It would seem weird to me if like one is like you got the colorful part and then I have everything else a certain color. I kept running into the issue for some reason. It's not really a big deal to me, so I just left it all unicorn vomit, rainbowy. I didn't really play with it too much, so I don't really care about the lights. It's very bright though. I have both of my computers are bombarding me with with RGB. It's like, oh god. Like I said, that doesn't really bother me. You know, at the time when I was building this stuff, uh, oh wow, we got to fix that. At the time I was building this stuff, everything without RGB was more expensive and also out of stock. So I had to go with the colorful stuff. I really didn't have any choice. It was the holiday season. That was my first mistake, by the way. But I wanted to get it out of the way, so I did. It was the holiday season, and I couldn't find anything else, so I had to go with the RGB stuff. Why is this? Oh, you know what? I know what it is. It's it's the mesh underneath. I was like, why can't I get this right? I know why I can't get it right. I can't get it right because the mesh is shaped that way. That's why. All right, no problem. No problem. We can probably sand that down, when we finish it. So let me just go back in front here. I'll just fill this in now. I mean, there's really nothing else left. I can't fix this and make it. Oh wait, yeah, there is something else. We can just fill this in. We don't want to do that. There. I'm gonna click outside of the boot because every time I click anywhere else, something else gets selected. Matter of fact, let's do our check right now. Make sure we didn't do anything like that. We did not. Okay. Looks like we didn't get any extra selections connected together. I mean, it looks like a boot. Mission accomplished, I guess. All right. But yeah, no, the next pair of boots or just footwear in general, they're definitely. I'm definitely going to take what I learned from these and yeah, it does indeed resemble a boot. Yeah. I'm definitely going to take what I learned from doing this footwear and apply that to the next one. The next pair of boots should be better in theory. So we kind of have an idea. Hey, thanks, Sunan. Sunan, is that how you say that? I'm gonna call you Zoo. Is that okay? But thank you for following. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. I'm making meshes. This is my first mesh. We recently started streaming regularly. This is my first. We're doing meshes for a to use as reference for a webcomic. This is the low poly mesh of the first character that appears in my webcomic. So I'm doing them by order of appearance. I'm streaming as much as this as I can. But apparently, you can't stream everything because you got to. But I can't put nipples on. I don't want to be zoomed into this stuff, for extended periods. But I do try to stream as much as possible, and I do have other meshes going off stream just so we can get the progress, keep progressing. I'm trying to get to 7 meshes so we can start doing character turnarounds and concept arts, and of course pages. All right. My focus is the characters. I think I should be able to draw a scene around any type of reference I make here. Okay, I think we're back. Yeah, looks like we might be back. I'm sorry about that. That was my stupid ISP. Every now and then they reset my connection for whatever reason. I don't know. I guess I'm going to assume some kind of maintenance or something. But it's I don't know why it doesn't even matter. Like, it's either Twitch or my ISP, and it's always on Monday when I'm streaming. So I'm sorry about that. Anyway, we're back. I am going to have to put those two bots together now for today. That's gonna take a little bit of extra extra effort for me to do, but no big deal, I guess. it just takes longer to upload to the archive. Oh, we gotta. Okay, we don't want to do that. What we want to do is we're gonna take and we want to put those two together. That's what I want to do. All right, welcome back. I'm sorry about that. So sorry about that. That's it's either Twitch or my ISP. Something on Monday. I don't know. There's nothing I could do about it. As long as there ain't a power line down somewhere, I think we'll be all right. But that seemed like a root, like a my ISP's routine. They I don't know if they just if it's a maintenance thing or what, but every now and then that would happen. It usually does not happen during a stream. That's probably the first time it's happened during the stream. All the other times that my connection was interrupted was from because of Twitch. So I got all the bitrate stuff set up properly. It should not ever do that. But anyway, we're gonna go back to our regularly scheduled sculpting or topology, I guess. Gonna try to work our way up the boots. What do we got here? Let's take a look at what we need to do. All right, so this needs to be connected down here. I don't know how much of that was cut off from before, but I'm going to assume that most of that got through. But I guess I could say it again. Yes, I'm working on meshes for my webcomic, okay? To use as reference. I've already written a webcomic. I've written an entire volume of the webcomic. And now we're working on the art. Started streaming this in March. I've done we during that time we've done like 3 projects so far. So um I think the progress is okay for what it is. Normally I do everything faster when I'm not streaming. So we still got to get used to working on projects and streaming at the same time, but I think that'll come while talking, of course. And sometimes sometimes I do think out loud, when I'm not on stream, but I think most of this is because I'm relearning it all on Blender instead of using ZBrush and Substance Painter. But we'll get there. I think there's going to come a time where we're just going to blaze through these. I think if I think I did a count before of all the characters I did. I think there's like 53 characters in my story overall. So we got our work cut out for us, but we only need 7 of those to start doing pages, okay? I don't know when I'm going to post them. When I do finish a page, I don't know when I'm going to post it because we still need to get a domain. I'm planning on using WordPress. So they have add-ons for webcomics and things like that. My only concern is the security of the website, and you have to pay extra for that stuff. So you don't get hacked or DDoSed or anything. I just want people to just log on and enjoy the story that I created, and maybe tell me what you like or don't like about it. Maybe some criticism too. I'm completely open to that. I don't want to have to worry about people trying to hack it or scam it or whatever. But of course, you have that. Those are things that you have to consider nowadays. I made my first website back in 2000 with it was like no, it was 2000. Yeah, it was 2000 with max pages back back when that was a thing. I made a Dragon Ball Z website when I was in 8th grade. That was fun. But that was my last website. I would have done it on max pages if it was still around. But it was like the free version of max pages. That site just up and disappeared one day. The name of the website was called Planet Saiyan 6. And someone actually referenced it for information because what I did was I took information before there was Wikipedia. I took information from every source that I could find about Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT, and I put it all on my website. So I don't know. I don't know if anyone else did that. Maybe they did, but I'm not gonna say that I pioneered making a wiki because that's not true. I'm pretty sure there were other people who did, consolidate all the information they could find on and off the internet into one website. But I was definitely one of the people who did it. It wasn't very common back then in 2000. The internet was still kind of new. You still, it was very, very simple. But someone did reference it when asking or someone trying to help someone understand what was going on. I think it was about power levels, which really don't matter. I did not invent the internet. If I invented the internet, I don't even know what I'd be doing right now. But I definitely did do a Dragon Ball Z website slash GT. Even had the I even had the game. I had some games on there. I think those were. I didn't make the games. I just took them and put them on website. It's probably not something I would do nowadays. It's kind of like people would have a problem with that, but um, it literally just anything I could find on Dragon Ball GT or in Z and just put it on, and even Dragon Ball. They were like compendiums that only were released in Japan that tell you exactly what power level the characters were at every given point of the saga. I had that information on, of course. So I knew a lot about Dragon Ball Z just from the internet before we actually got the episodes. I think at the time we didn't even have Frieza's death, or the Frieza the entire Frieza saga. I would say was not even on Toonami at the time that this website was being made. But I knew about Cell, and of course, there were some things you could see these characters on, like Dragon Ball GT Final Bout for the PlayStation. You could see some of these characters ahead of time, but um, yeah, I actually knew, and anyone else who had imported anime and whatnot, because that was a big thing back in the day. Getting imported bootleg animes, whatever. That was like the main method of getting them. If you didn't have some kind of uh, access to importing things from another country, I didn't know how to do that stuff. So, what I did personally was I taped it. I just took a VCR and I recorded anime right off the TV and built a collection up that way. But for Dragon Ball, we didn't have that stuff yet because we were still getting those episodes. So it was an interesting time. I used to do that with Nickelodeon shows. You know what I did with Nickelodeon? I think I recorded a commercial from Nickelodeon. It was a Christmas advertisement for Keenan and Kel. And it was a line that Keenan said. And for some reason I just wanted to record it because I always recited that line. Specifically Keenan. It was when he was the Santa Claus. He said something. I don't remember it was. It was a lot of gibberish, but I recorded it because we had like this little recorder thing. Yeah, it came with a mic. The mic, the thing from Toy Story that Woody was using the first Toy Story. It was that, but not exactly. It wasn't like marketed for toddlers. It was more like a bigger age range, so they didn't make it look like a little dude with a face or whatever, or however it looked. It wasn't like a little Tykes version of it. But we had that. We had a toy that was similar to that microphone carry case with a microphone attached to it. We actually had one of those things, but for older kids. I guess that's the best I can describe it. I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, it was quite interesting. But yes, I definitely did record movies, but mainly animes. Whenever there was no cable or we just didn't have a lot of anime, I think we had there was a time when Sci-Fi Channel was the Sci-Fi Channel had all the animes at one point. and I watched. That's how I watched a lot of them through that channel, and then other channels started getting them. Like I think it was either UPN. No, it couldn't have been UPN. It must have been like WB or something. One of the WB channels had they had Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball, and then they started adding Dragon Ball Z into that lineup, and they had up until it wasn't it wasn't when like Frieza did not show up on Namek yet. They had all the episodes up until the Ginyu Force, I believe. That was what we had. This was like mid 90s. That's as far as we got as far as the syndicated shows, and they would just play those episodes for years and years and years. And then when Toonami got them, then they finished the Frieza saga, and then went on to Cell and Boo and all that stuff. I missed the old Sci-Fi Channel made for TV movies that used to come on every Saturday. I can't remember any of them that I've personally watched. I think by the time they really became something that a lot of people started getting into, and maybe a lot of people were into them already. I actually don't know because I never really watched any of them. Uh, I think there was one that had Robert England in it, and he was they were fighting some kind of snake, I guess, and he was immune to the venom because he spent like all of his life just getting bit by snakes, so he could draw up an immunity. So when the snake bit him, it didn't kill him or something like that. I don't remember what it was. I think that's probably the closest thing that I've seen. I never saw Sharknado or any of those movies like that, so I kind of missed out. But I do know that eventually those types of movies became popular because of their. Yeah, I remember Pumpkinhead actually. I don't think I've ever seen it, but I do remember it. Maybe I've seen one of them. I'm not really sure to be honest. Pumpkinhead, yeah, I remember that. I know of it. I don't think I've ever watched it though. I'm sorry to say. That's one that I've seen a lot of B movie horror films. But I don't think I've seen that one. I'm just gonna put those together. That should work. Yep. All right, do that. We're just gonna fill in this area until it's filled in, and then we're gonna move on to the next loop. How many loops do we have anyway? We have six done, and we need another what 10. Wow. All right. Kind of wish I had made less loops. All right. That's okay. We'll just move faster without rushing, hopefully. All right. So I think we can just add these in like so. How about this? Oh yeah, before I forget, I always forget this. I'm sorry. When it comes to me, it comes faster. Starting to remember quicker. Low base guy does a lot of photography, so I suggest you check that channel out. Low base guy's channel out if you want to see that. And I think there's some 3D stuff too as well. Welcome, welcome. I gotta get used to doing that. I don't know why people. Yeah, every time I go into a channel, they're like, it just comes out immediately. I don't know. I don't know. I always tell my mods when they're on to just feel free to shout each other out because they are also streamers as well, but they don't really advertise themselves like that even if I tell them to do it. And they have a lot of other they're in a lot of other, I would say, communities and networks, so I don't know if they really interact with yours as much. I know Studio is in your channel. I don't know about 99 though, so but we'll get there. Eventually, I wish there was a way like to have a bot just do that automatically because I'd be okay with that. Like, yeah, go ahead. Even if you're not even a part of the community, just come and say, hey, all right. And the bot just can see that you're a streamer and just go ahead, just shout them out. Go ahead, go right ahead. Go ahead. Boost that signal. All right, so that's actually possible. Okay, yeah, yeah, I figured. I mean, why wouldn't it be? I'm gonna cancel that loop. I don't want to. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll do that. Loop cut and slide. Yeah, I don't know the bot side of the game yet, but we're gonna get there one day. I'm still building up my stream. I've really just I put all my effort into what I'm doing. I spend a lot of my free time working on my webcomics, so something has to give. But we're gonna eventually get to where we're going. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, we just want to dissolve these two. Oh, we should just. I could just leave those in actually, and we'll just adjust them later because this is all deformed. We can stretch these out. My main concern was to get two stop two squares here lined up. One. Oh, we need three actually. Yeah, one day I'm gonna sit down and set up all the bots. Like I don't have bots at all. Like bot characters. I know people use Seribot. I want to take a look at that because I see a lot of people use that, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I got to do it, but we're gonna get there. Just to have an easier experience with this. I'm surprised my alert popped up. Because sometimes I don't know. I feel like they don't work. I know a lot of people typically follow me when I'm not streaming, but I've seen that sometimes that the alerts don't work, even though everything's set up correctly, and even this website tells me that my alerts aren't set up. It's not a It's a marathon, not a sprint. Just do what you can commit to consistently and add little by. Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. Yeah, yeah. I came into it with the plan to just do everything all at once as far as working on the stream. But then I started to see, I was like, I don't really need to do it that way. I could just start streaming like now. I mean, I have enough to stream now. I don't really have to wait for like, something that I ain't gonna use until, I'm playing a game or something that no one's really gonna see right away. I kind of came to that conclusion too. So yeah, you're definitely right about that. The most important thing is that you have a way to acknowledge the people who follow sub. Yeah, I don't think I miss anything as far as the chat. I can see I have the chat on two of my monitors, and it's fine where it is here. But I put another chat on my second computer too, so I can interact with the chat easier without having to grab my other keyboard because I have a dual streaming setup. That kind of made it easier. I don't know. As far as sound, it's a little more complicated when it comes to the audio, but dual streaming isn't too bad for me anyway. Let's see. Okay, I think we'll. Oh yeah, we gotta be in ed. I always try to do a loop cut and slide while I'm at vertex. You can't. The option won't even come up. So all right, so we're gonna put another one there. Make sure it's in the middle there, as you can see. It doesn't line up properly. All right, so we're gonna take and click. All right. So that's filled in, and we'll of course we'll adjust that later. That's you like I've been told, or I'm not told. I have been instructed, or I've picked up the idea from many YouTube videos that these should be as straight and as even as possible. We're just gonna fill it in, and then I'll even it up. Okay, that's my goal because I really don't have a method of doing this yet. I'm just doing it. It's been quite a learning experience. So far, it's okay. I've already done the body. Body is done. as you can see, there's some tweaks. Some things could be done better, just judging by the hand. I don't want to take the clothes off, and I don't have to do the clothes because with the fabric, at least the fabrics themselves, I did the shirt myself, and he has underwear too for Twitch purposes. But the this I can just have an add-on generate the cloth here, so I didn't have to do this. This is done automatically. I did stretch these polygons down though, so you can see that those are big. I'm not gonna do anything more to the clothes. I did it this way because I like the natural wrinkles. I don't have to sculpt any of this. And then this was just a matter of just making a pocket and the pouches and straps and whatnot. So, um, this method here that we've gotten to this point is the method we're going to use, and hopefully, we'll be able to improve upon that method. See some of the topology there. See, it got a little, look at a little scrunched right there, but that's okay. And I was looking at some stuff yesterday. Apparently, people don't smooth out the mesh until they bake on the high poly stuff, and I have the high poly mesh right underneath. Just don't have it visible. This is what I actually sculpt here, and then I just took a bunch of planes and put it over because this is the lower. See, it's very low. My low poly mesh when I was practicing with Z remesh was like in the hundred. It was a little bit over 100,000, and right now we're not even over five. So, well, this is just that's just the boot, but in total, probably under 30,000. So we already like saved 100,000 just based off of my last completed mesh. So I'm pretty happy with that because that's gonna make rendering it much easier. And here we're doing it manually so we can keep some of the detail off the bat before we even bake on the high poly stuff. At least that's my understanding of what's going on because we haven't actually completed a mesh using this method yet. So I'm going to assume that's what's happening here. Once I have something to work off of, then I can start making improvements and changes and tweaks. But right now we're just trying to figure out a way to get from undone to done. Okay, we're working our way up because we still got a bit to go, but we can get there. We can do it. We can, in fact, do it. Okay, everything is a little further away. What I want to do is I want to take a polygon and I want to stretch it. No, we don't got to stretch it. We can just extrude it like so. But we know what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale that down a little bit, and then we're going to line it up with the shoestring. See, that's another thing that we're definitely going to have to work on is uh, strengthening these finer details here in the future. I did do that, but when you remesh it, it gets a little soft, and you have to kind of tweak it. And I think there was a couple of remeshes where I just didn't do anything. I just kept remeshing it and forming. I was very focused on the soles, which in hindsight could probably just use a texture for that, instead of actually carving in the grooves and whatnot and the little crosses or stars, whatever the they're supposed to be. I'm gonna have to look into doing that next time. But I did enjoy sculpting it. It was nice to try to figure out how I would do that without a texture. And I think what I've come up with is just to work on one groove at a time and just making sure that it's nice and neat. I kind of did like a cursory sculpt, like overall, like I did a couple and then I did another one, and then once the whole thing was done, I kind of like tweaked it from there. But if we really want to get like super accurate, I could probably do it that way and just focus on like one little piece at a time. I was thinking about doing that too for actually 2D art and coloring. You have your base color, you do all the base color, and then you do all the shit, all the shade, you know, of whatever shade you're working in. At least I think that's how people do it. But I think, well, look, what if you took the hand, right? You did the base color for the whole thing, but then you zoom in on the hand and you just do everything you can for just that part, and then just work your way up the arm. You just have to keep track of all the layers that you're working in, right? That would be the only concern. I want to try to do a piece that way, at least for like for digital art, for 2D digital art. I don't know. You can't really do that for a sculpt unless you were like doing a study like on the arm, and then you just needed a something to a body or something to compare it to, as far as proportions are concerned. I don't know. I guess that's. I mean, I guess you could do it for a sculpt. I don't know, but for 2D, yeah. That's what I was thinking about doing. Every time I say I want to do it, I never do it that way though. The only problem is trying to like kind of almost rewire my brain to doing it. Hey, 99, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great morning. We're just working our way up the boot here. Yeah, every time I do it, I'm like, okay, well, I was like, no, I don't really see the point in doing it. I'll just do it the other way, do it the way we're used to doing it. Thank you, 99. We're getting there. Still got a ways to go and a lot to tweak, but we're getting there. I think yeah, one day I'm gonna try it that way. We're just gonna do a 2D art and then just focus, zero in on like one piece, and then just try to like just totally just render that piece out, and then work on something else. But then we're gonna have like all the layers and folders completed, and we'll just have to keep track of which one we're working in. That's really the only issue with that. The one piece, yeah, the one piece. Okay, so this is what we got now. We wait, hold on. All right, we want to let's raise that. It's a little too thin, but at least we can connect some of these with relative ease. We got a triangle there, and we got a piece there. We can put a piece here, here, and here that just naturally lined up. Catching the SGDQ, yes. Apparently there was a good Pokemon one. I completely missed that because I started playing Minecraft in 11, and I was looking at my story too. But um I've seen the dungeons, the Minecraft dungeons one. I've seen the man, I'm trying to recall what I was watching. What the heck? Because I had it on. I wasn't really like completely focused on it. Oh yeah, the Yoshi's Story one. Yeah, the 100 Melons one. I saw the beginning of it, and then once I started cooking, I kind of missed a couple of runs. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep going all this week. So, and then I can always catch it on YouTube. So I'll get whichever ones are worth watching. I'll look at them. Yeah, but did you see? Oh yeah, yeah. I saw Halo. I came back in on Halo 2. I actually missed Halo 1, but I came back in on Halo 2. You didn't see the Yoshi Story one? I was hoping you'd see that one. So, because I know you played that one on your stream. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Again, I'm gonna have a bot do this. I swear. 99 Heal Potions is a variety streamer. Okay, he plays a lot of indie games, retro, some new ones too. So if that is something that you might be interested in, definitely check out that stream. Of course, we have. Oh, come on! Don't tell me I got something in my eye. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, a lot of great streamers coming here. Okay, now very fun and entertaining and informative streams. I guess we got photography with low base guy. We got variety and art too. He does art too. 99 Heal Potions. So if you like art, definitely check that out as well. No problem. We got game dev. We got it all. Okay, in this shopping mall. And there's a link down below your viewing screen that has all of their communities. I've consolidated all of their communities into one link just below, so you can check those out too. You know, you want more, or maybe this isn't doing it for you. You can go down. You can scroll down if you want. Maybe find a community that way. I'm going to keep that updated as well. I haven't really been looking at a lot of communities lately, outside of the ones I'm already in, but pretty awesome communities out there. This week will be all art for me, working on a coloring page. Nice. Doing something like was it like what kind of are you talking about streaming or just art in general? What are you working on? Regardless of how you're going, like if you're going to showcase it or not, like what are you working on? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, we could just work backwards into this thing here. Almost I forgot we were doing that almost. Okay, the other side is not done yet. We'll get there though. I'll be designing a couple more coloring pages for Casey. Okay, I didn't know. I don't know what's going on, but that sounds great. Well, okay, so we're just gonna do our circle here, and then we'll adjust the vertexes. After the disaster of my last stream, I'm just gonna use a couple of streams to knock out. Wait, what happened? What with the thaumaturge one? I came in. I okay. I remember now. You said you were having problems with the stream, but I didn't see them, so I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. I came in after those problems were resolved. I think. Looks like a fun game though. I definitely put it on my wish list. I almost wanted to play Dragon Age. I kind of had like a little bit of indecision. I got Elden Ring off of the sale, but I haven't started it yet. If I don't get to it, I'll definitely play that on stream, and it'll be blind too. So see how that goes. Like I kind of want to just like everything that I haven't really tried yet. I kind of want to save it for stream now, but I do get in the mood to play something. So I only have things that I've already played to choose from currently. Can I add a vertex? Screw it. I'll just take this one. How about that? How about them apples? How you gonna stop me? How you gonna stop me, vertexes? Vertices. Casey Golden is a YouTuber streamer acquaintance. I'm making her 5 coloring page. Okay, so she's gonna color them on stream. Cool. Are they like? Is it like fan art or is it like OCs? I didn't have audio on my end. Then my mic didn't pick up. Then I punched a man so hard my PC froze. Oh no! After that, OBS crashed and Twitch lowered my bit rate. After that it called down. Oh okay. Well that sucks. Did that happen? Did that happen while I was watching it? No, you just ended normally, I think. So it must have been before. It's characters from her comics. Oh, cool, 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 cool. I would say I'm something of a webcomic artist myself, but I actually don't. I don't have anything besides the text of the story. I don't exactly have anything tangible yet other than these meshes and um some preliminary art that I've done, leading up to this point. So I can't really use that joke. I'm sorry. And plus, I already used it when I started. I said I'm something of an artist myself. Yeah, you can't keep using this. Well, I don't know. Maybe you can. It works for some people, right? It's a routine. Maybe I should get myself a routine. I think you came in after. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bruh, get the Thaumaturge is a great game. Yeah, it looks fun. Looks fun. What kind of comic is it? Like does Casey Golden have does she do like a anime? Is it like an anime or what's going on here? Casey has 2 comics. Sketch Scouts with has almost 100 issues. banked to release. Oh, cool, cool. That's what I want to do, right? My plan is to do to complete the entire prologue. I'm going to release that as a whole, but I also want to have that's going to be the buffer, right? I want to do I want to be like super far into Act 1, and so that way when I post the prologue, you have something there to read, and then by the time you get to the end, you'll already start seeing updates from Act 1. I think I might bleed I think I might combine Act 1 and the prologue though, because there's still a lot of I don't know. I feel like the story is very slow paced. I think that's probably the one criticism like I give myself is the pacing of the story. I don't know if it's like an even pacing. Like there's some things that really ramp up at times, and then some things are kind of like a slow burn. So we got the that's probably something that I'm going to have to take a really good look at. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just thinking like back to when I reread it because every time I edit it, I reread it to make sure that I got all the details right and I'm not missing anything. You know, there's nothing that I need to change or whatnot. And I am not sure about the pacing. That is the only thing. Like I don't know if I'm pacing it correctly, but we'll definitely take a look at that. Here's a closer to mine. Bubbly, cute, bright, silly. Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. And 2 issues of Pickle and Pear, which is only physical release. Did Casey make her own domain? I'm still looking at that on my end. Like I said, I do have a WordPress as a potential target, and I'm almost gonna go with it. But I've heard that people don't like WordPress, and I'm trying to figure out why. And I have really haven't gotten a straight answer on it. The one thing that I've seen about it is the domain or sorry the pricing for security gets a little pricey, okay? And I'm not going to have anything like super ready right this second, so it wouldn't make sense for me to start buying a domain now and then creating the pages to fill it. I'd rather have the pages and then just pull the trigger on that immediately, and that way I'd save the money that I would have spent. She uses Squarespace because it handles her shop and she does ads for them that makes it almost free. Oh, okay. I gotta take a look at that. The thing people don't like about WordPress is how difficult it is. You kind of have to be a do-it-yourselfer, even if you're using a template. Okay, that from the sounds of it, that sounds like I think that tracks. I know there's a lot of things that I'm gonna have to do. Also have a lot of even with add-ons. You kind of have to do it yourself. I have some experience with that, but Max Pages have kind of made it easy. My eighth grade mind, didn't really have to dig too deep into it to make a website. But Max Pages is going now, okay? So I'm gonna have to do it the real way. Planet Saiyan 6 has been dead for decades now. Okay, it's been dead for decades. It's not coming back. Now we have to make a new planet. It's not gonna. There's planet. It's not gonna be anywhere in the name. So I can't really say that. But you get what I'm saying. But yeah, Squarespace. I know Squarespace is a little is I know none of these. There's really no real cheap options. There's only three that I've been considering. Of course, Squarespace. A lot of podcasts. When I'm in the mood to listen to podcasts these days, I haven't really been not that much anyway. But normally, before I started streaming, when I did art, I would put up a podcast, and a lot of them advertise Squarespace. So I looked at that as a possible, and then it was GoDaddy, and then WordPress. So those were my three. I don't know any more than that, but those are the ones that I was looking at, and I was thinking of going with WordPress. But I want to make sure that I got it. That's the best option for me. That's all. But I'm probably going to just go with that. If you want to do F, okay. Squarespace sponsors a lot of people. It would be easy to to do that, you know, to have a Squarespace. I think if if I could get a sponsor and have it pay for the website, that would be cool. That'd be real cool. I'd draw whatever they want if they let me do that. But regardless, we're going to have a site, and it's gonna be to spec somehow, somewhere. Like I said, I just don't want to pay for nothing because I don't have any pages yet, so I gotta wait. My website is through SmugMug. Is that something you can put a webcom? Does it have like a? Can you put a webcom? I'm sure you could, if you really tried. But I wonder if that's a good option for a webcomic. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you really all you need is a slideshow setup, right? That's all I would need. Like instead of slide showing a photograph, you can just slide show a page, right? That could work. I don't know how well that would look on SmugMug, but I could put it on Newgrounds. Newgrounds has made additions to their website to where you could put webcomics on now. So it probably will end up there, but I don't want it to be the main thing. I always envision my webcomic to have its own website, but I can do uploads on places like that and maybe not Webtoons because it's Webtoons is kind of I don't know about Webtoons to be honest. I hear a lot of bad things about Webtoons, especially lately. But top webcomics and the other names that I have here, there's like two more, and I'm gonna get them right now in case any of you might be interested in looking for a website. Okay, for a similar project. As soon as I find my bookmarks, I can show you or at least tell you. Can we go back? Where's my bookmarks at? I feel like a boomer now. Where do I? How do I get to my bookmarks? Okay, Nami Kami is one. Global Comics, Tumix, Leshin Comics, all possible hosting websites. Those are the four that I found, and looking for other places to host a webcomic besides my own website. But I definitely want to do the website first, and then we can host it at other places. That's my goal. All right. Ooh, Sonny. Let's control Z that. All right. All right, we're gonna look at it with just in front on. We gotta fill that in. Otherwise, that's done. And we just gotta pop around on the other side there and get that loop going. I feel like I'm years from a comic. Yeah, yeah, I know you want us to do a comic too. Well, I mean, it's not I mean, depend I don't know. I don't know what kind of comic you want to do. I did something a little long form, so I mean, I don't know if it's the right way, but I focused on the story. I written the entire volume. I did all, since I wanted it to be in the genre of sci-fi, but I'm not a scientist, so I had to do a lot of research on the sciences that I wanted to use in my story. It didn't take too much away from actually making the comic, since I already have like a sort of a universe, for my characters, and I've been adding to this universe since elementary school. So it was very easy for me to craft a story out of the ideas that I already had. Um, Something from scratch, I would imagine wouldn't be too bad, but I have to get back to you on that one. If I ever do something that I have to make from scratch, without any prior information or any pre-made things that I have done in the past to build from. Uh, then maybe I could share that process, just making something just completely from scratch, which I guess would be a game, I mean, I don't know. I'm something of a scientist myself. It's always Norman Osborn that returns, isn't it? Sacrifice. But yeah, I think and it's all speculative things. I think I used some science that was kind of some theories that were already debunked, but it's like whatever. I mean, it's not, none of this is real. So I mean, it doesn't. It's based on something, even if it's something that's not super accurate. At least for one thing, and that's like just the idea of anti gravity. I eat paste. Okay, alrighty. That's that's good to know. But yeah, I don't know. I would, it didn't really, as far as an idea for something from scratch. But like I'm already thinking of things to make as a video game. It doesn't. I don't know. It's not too bad for me. I think I usually just build. You build off of something, right? Usually, it's you build off of something that you have an interest in. So I mean, you're always going to building from something. It's just the matter of like how you get from the idea to something tangible. I think is the only really real issue for anybody, right? Especially for people who don't have like something, people who don't really rely on their imagination as much. I don't think I have a problem with like creating an idea, but making it tangible, well, that's the jury's still out on that one. We're doing it. We're doing it now. I mean, this is the closest that we've come, all right? Right here. We're at the forefront right now. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can see it in my head. That's the important thing. I can see how the pages are going to look. I can even think up very specific pages for a portion of the comic. Like if I'm reading something in a comic, if I read it, I remember I can the images that I've come up with when I was writing it come back to me. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's something that everyone does, but because I can't read minds, but um, I know there's a lot of people who don't really, they're not imaginative people, so I don't know how they would adapt to anyone who has no problem with using their animation would tell them. So I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a more literal thing, just seeing how something is done and just emulating that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer, but for people who don't have an issue with just making up shit, um, it's just a matter of just making it make sense, right? Making it somewhat real, or something that you could see or touch or taste if you're a cook. I don't know. I can read minds, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Okay. Hey, get out of my mind. And Professor X has said that a lot in that cartoon. What are you trying to tell me? He's looking for Lalandra, or Lalandra was looking for him, or something like that. And she kept showing up like in the form of a nightmare for whatever reason, instead of just like appearing in the astral form like most people do when they contact you from a far distance, and they have those types of powers. But I think that's interesting that they did it that way. Because for story, if someone just came up, if someone just appeared out of nowhere and just told you, what was going on, like they do in Star Wars. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, it's not really, it's very straightforward. There's not a lot of fun in straightforward things sometimes, right? But if they're, if If someone's trying to tell you something, but the best they can do is a nightmare, it kind of makes it interesting because you don't know what's going on. It's I don't know. Maybe that was their thought process. I never really thought about it that way until just now. I think the closest that I've seen that happen was like what was it? Which was the one? I think it was no, it wasn't Batman v Superman. It was Justice League when Bruce Wayne has a well, I don't know, it seemed like a nightmare at first, but then the Flash shows up and he's like, he was trying to warn him about the Injustice timeline, but he was very not straightforward about it. He just, they always say, say something cryptic and then they disappear. But when he was waking up, you can see that his office was in disarray from what had just happened. So it wasn't really a dream. I think that was the closest thing that I've seen to that type of concept anywhere else other than X-Men. They never went anywhere with the Injustice storyline for the movies, so uh, they tried, but it was like they did like two different things for some reason. Like they did the Injustice thing for Justice League, but then when they made the Flash movie, they did a completely different timeline, which is the Paradox one. So it's like I don't know, maybe they were going to merge them two together. I still don't know. I don't understand what they were, other than just doing what Marvel does as far as the movies are concerned. I don't understand what they were trying to accomplish with whatever it was they were planning. And I almost forgot to do the loop here. Let me in front that. Oh, there was no loop. No wonder. We got to erase these three. So we went a little too far in that direction. Oops. No problem. We'll just do that. Oh, gotta, of course, hold shift. And we're going to delete the faces. All right. Now I just need to refresh my memory on where everything is. We want to move everything off. I think I adjusted that, not, completely forgetting that the circle was there. All right. So obviously we're going to start. Oh, you know what? I mean, at this, we went a little runaway there for a second. No problem though. No problem. No problem. We have this is what we're going to do now. I'm going to do with the face, or sorry, edge. And I'm going to extrude that right here. We're going to follow the shoestring or the bootstring. I'm just going to keep saying shoestring because it's easier. And we're going to create that, right? And then we'll just connect those two. I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to move this line, this edge up so a line. Oh, we actually extruded another one. We don't want to do that. We're going to move that line up so we can easily just connect those together. And then we can just dissolve these two lines and make that one big thing, one big face. We'll try it that way, and then when it's time to adjust everything and make it look nice and neat, which you could do on the way, but I don't really want to. I don't want to worry about that right now. I kind of just want to get it filled in, and then we could just make the small adjustments there. We'll just try to keep in mind to keep it as straight and neat as possible, of course. And whatever mistakes we made, we'll correct later. And it's not a big deal. It's usually just you're just moving lines at that point that are already connected and moving and removing them. So it's not really a big deal to me. Plus, a lot of it's somewhat neat anyway. It's just really small tweaks here and there. Most of the tweaks are probably going to be what we just did here because it's all scrunched together. But like I said, we do have a boot, a low poly boot. That's all that matters. That's how it looks. I mean, that's really all we need. Once we bake the details on, it'll look better. All right, so let's go back to what we were doing, which is we're going to get to that circle, which we are at the circle. We're going to create the circle now. I'm going to turn this back on because I need to see what this. I saw that was protruding here, this little edge here. So we're going to shrink that. course, follow the arrow. Don't try to move away from the arrow because you're just gonna turn it. I have to keep saying that because I keep doing it. All right, so we want to rotate. Oh, ready then. Okay. And we're just gonna line up the shoestrings here. What? All right, we don't want to go. Oh, we don't want to put anything over that. Even though we actually. Okay, that's the bottom. That looked like it was in front. You know, the perspective kind of made it look like I made him. I forgot a row or something. Whoops. Anyway. All right, so we're just gonna go on. All right, we're gonna rotate this a little bit. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, rotate. We're just following these this circle around so we can complete it. Like I said, we really next time we make this, we got to make sure that we have all of these have enough form to have, so that way we can really define their shapes in low poly. That's basically something that we need to work on so far. We got the seams, like I said. I mean, I think last week we really wanted to. I really wanted to make sure that the seams were noticeable, and of course it kind of the soles kind of fade into the boot a little bit back here. Next time we're going to make those a little better. Basically, seams here, here, down here, and here should all be more defined than they are now. Next time. I mean, you can still see them on the other side, but we could do better than that, I think, and we will do better than that. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna complete the circle. Rotate it. Okay, we're gonna zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in here because I saw that this was a little off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shrink that just a little bit. We can take the vertices and adjust them to make them more circular. Even though this one isn't, I just noticed it. We kind of forgot to do that one. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right. We can fix that. It's not necessarily a bad thing to if you see something wrong, you want to make a. It's a very easy thing to tweak. So I'm not really concerned about having to go back here and there. Just don't want to do that for any major thing. You don't want to leave major problems. At least I don't. All right, so we can go to vertices right now and start making that a little bit more circular. Okay. So we're doing this. I'm just going to arrange them to where they're a little bit more round. Oops. We have to let it go. We can't pull it down with us. We can't take it with us. One, two, three, four. Okay, that's five. I can't see. I couldn't see five. I wanted to see if this was an octagon. It's not an octagon. It's not an octagon. It's like I don't know, a decagon, if that's even a thing. I'm not even sure. My geometry, I have not brushed up on my geometry in a long time. All right. Now we can go down here and tweak this a bit. You notice that was a little off. So I'm gonna make it a little round. I'm gonna make sure that circle matches. Yeah, it does. See, I didn't even have to look. It matches almost perfectly. Only problem is this: the shoestring comes way over on that one, so it's gonna be a little off. What I could do though is I could just not care about that and just make it a circle anyway. So we're gonna do that now. Okay. Is that so? That should be, yeah. I guess it is. Okay. So some of the loops are of course uneven, but we can adjust that to a point. The mesh, it's like that on the mesh too. So since we're using this as a drawing reference, we could just fix that. That should not be a big issue. That's the only reason why I'm letting it go. It's because if I wanted to draw a boot, I mean, I got the shapes right here, and even a little bit of lighting. That's more than enough information. I don't mind making little minor tweaks and corrections in the drawing itself if I were to use this right now. Of course, you want to have an accurate, as accurate as a reference as you possibly can, but um, to that extent should not bother me too much. But yeah, I do want it to that extent someday in the future. Yeah, I don't expect it to be on my first one. Okay, I'm trying not to be a perfectionist here. Otherwise, we'd be on this all summer, and while we are approaching that anyway. Just from the nature of just streaming just this and only working on this on stream, I do have other meshes that I'm working on off stream to compensate, but just the nature of doing this only on stream is going to make it longer than it should be. But we're going to get there. That's a promise. As long as I'm alive, we will get there. Don't kill me. Okay. Okay, so that's a space there. Can't really tell because it's kind of inside of the mesh there a little bit, but no problem. I think we can just fill this in. I want to divide it right there. So what I'm going to do instead is we're going to take this corner. We're going to put it, oh no, well, yeah, okay, we can do it this way. It's a roundabout way where we can do it. Just take the edge, bridge them together like so. And then we can take this line and dissolve it and then take, oops, 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 oops. This line, move it up some. I don't think they're not technically connected together, but I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't think that doesn't sound like a good thing to me, but we can't. I think we can adjust that. Oh, at this angle, that looks rough. That's okay. Oh, oh no, 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 no. We're gonna take that one off. All right. Let's fill that in. We're gonna get there. One day we're gonna breathe. I can fully see myself just blasting through this on stream once we get more proficient in this. Once we get better at doing this. I can't wait for that day. Actually, I can wait. I have no choice but to wait. You can't rush it. Otherwise, we'll never get there if we rush it. So, whoa, what? Oh, all right. I think we're good, but we're not good. I see what's going on here. Okay, it's a little better. It's a little better, and then we can just take this, that little corner there, and this, fill that in. That's something we're gonna have to come back to. we can have this all. Actually, you know what? We don't have to come back to it right now. All we really have to do is dissolve this edge, and boom, done. There. Now we don't have to go back to it at all. I'm hoping that the UV unwrapping and the baking of the high poly textures will help this bottom here because we lost. Well, besides the general shape, we don't have any of the detail of the grip, and that's the reason why I'm considering just using a texture for the grip on the bottom and just flattening it next time. You know, like I'm just making it just a total Disney shoe on the bottom here, something that Goofy would wear. It's already kind of that shape. Just make it completely flat on the bottom and just put in the texture, making it look like it has grips on the bottom. That actually might be easier. I'm really considering that. We can take that and we can dissolve this edge. That solves that problem. And that also allows us to just F2 our way all the way up, like so. Oh, we gotta see. Hold on, I gotta see what I'm doing. Okay. We don't want to go all the way up. The shoe string is supposed to be there. So we're gonna move back a little bit, just a little bit. Okay. We already have the space on this side to do the shoestring there, and we can just cross them over on either side. But we got to keep this clear until then, which we can actually do right now. I mean, it's really no then. Then is now. Then will be now soon. All right, we're gonna rotate that. We're gonna scale it down just a little bit. It's very uneven, but I mean, that was our first time creating this. It's okay though. We're gonna definitely make that better next time. I think we don't even have to do like sharp corners and edges. We could probably do it round. I think it would work round. I don't know. I gotta see how this turns out. Now right now we kind of have them somewhat laying over the strings and they follow them to an extent. So we'll see how that turns out. If all this ends up being moot, like in a good way, then the only thing that I would change is how I did the mesh underneath. If this turns out that it works, no problem. And that's the only thing that I'm going to do. Well, I need to see how it looks after I'm done baking it, and we'll be able to tell right away exactly where we need to what we need to fix next time. I think though, from learning, I had problems with the eyelids. This see we have the planes that we need to get the inside of the eyelids. We didn't have those even with zebra mesher. Zebra mesher would deform just this part of the face. Everything else would turn out fine. It would just be the eyelids. So I took special care for that. What is this song? Oh, this is Cole's theme. Cole Leafo's theme from the Bouncer. That's the guy with all the tribal tattoos. If you pick him at any point in the game before besides fighting a boss, you'll hear this theme. I think it's the best out of the three. I think his is the best theme. Sion has the second best, and then Volt the third best. So I put that in there. I got a couple of bouncer songs in there, or themes basically. They're all themes really. I mean, even the boss themes are that's just their theme. You know, Square Enix kind of got some bangers, man. I don't know what they're doing now because I haven't really played anything new, but you know, they really had some decent composers back in the day. And you can almost tell, like, I say from Tobal, because there's some people who worked on Tobal that worked on like Chrono Cross. they had a lot of composers that did a lot of stuff inside and outside of Square. You can kind of tell when it's them sometimes. Just listening to they have a couple of composers that do similar things. I don't know if that's like a cultural like thing or like a sign of how people were making music during that time, like in the mid '90s to like early 2000s. But sometimes you can tell that this composer did this. I don't know if that's just like a thing that you would pick up from just listening to their songs enough. But there were times, when I would have this stuff up and actual songs, from artists. I just refrain from putting that on stream, just in case uh Twitch decides to do live copyright takedowns. They only do VOD now, but if they did live, I at least have the time to make whatever adjustments I need to make. I don't expect them to go after video game things right away unless they were used in some song on YouTube. That's really the only time when that happens. But if they ever decide to say, okay, no more video game music, or just no more music live in general, then currently I have like four VODs up. I could just nix those four VODs. Well, actually, no. I don't have to do that. But I can just immediately just not play any licensed music, any video game licensed music anymore, and just use just streamer free music. Back then they had their signature sounds. It's all a little blurry these days. Oh, okay. I wonder if I can get one of those Bassmaster 502 Ultra 90s mixtape redo tapes to play while streaming. You probably could. Why not? I'm sure you could find them somewhere. There's a lot of good streamer friendly music out there. If they ever did that, so it's not really a big loss to me. I always had an idea of using video game music because I mean, for the most part, companies don't have a problem with people streaming the game itself. So as long as the music is not licensed, so far it's okay. If they ever changed it, all I have to do is just X the folder out and we're good. This doesn't show up in the VOD anyway. You know what I'm talking about, right? From like Music Man. Yeah, yeah. You know what I've seen I hear so many mashes and mixes and remixes that are really good that I would be open to making music, just making the music myself one day. It's just I don't like I would have to like for me the only like as far as like what I do, what I do already, the only way I could fully commit to anything is to just not do anything else with my free time. I'm not ready really, I don't really feel the need to do that yet. I'm kind of okay with what we're doing right now, even though it's a little slow, but that would be the one thing that I would have to do in order to really like focus on something. I'm not really there yet though. I don't really see the point in having to make that type of decision where I'm just doing this and nothing else. Music is a skill I draw the line at. I feel like if you're artistic in some way, it can transfer to other mediums, even like cooking in some cases. I'm a believer in doing that. I think an artistic skill can translate to other things. So if you're good at one thing, it shouldn't. I don't think it would take. At least not in my case. I don't know. I don't know if this is a universal thing, but I feel like I could do music. That's basically what I'm saying. So maybe I don't know. Maybe one day I'll try it. Especially if I make a game. If I do end up making a game and like developing it actively, because I will do that on stream. Um, I'm gonna at least make an attempt to make the music myself. Otherwise, yes, I will commission someone to make the music for me. I have no musical skill. I've invested no work into it, and I have no music education. I don't think you. I don't think that you know. I don't think you need per se need an education. It wouldn't be too hard to find out any of that stuff, to be honest. You know, what we have today, maybe like 20 years ago, but now you could find you can learn how to do pretty much anything just off the internet. I think it's good for that at least. My biggest interest, I want to learn some languages, to be honest. I've always had an interest in that. I'd probably do that. I'd be willing to do that before music, but I do want to do music. I said I don't have any mental library for music. Well, I mean, I'm sure you like songs. I mean, you could start there. You know, I'm not saying like plagiarize the song, but you can get an idea. You can at least make something that you like at the first. At first, you know, I don't know if it's gonna be like if it's gonna make sense musically. I know they have some kind of music theory or something. I'm not really sure what that entails. Maybe I learned it in school and I forgot. I don't know, but like I can't read music. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to read music, but that's not necessarily a requirement unless you needed to read the music. But I have seen how people put that information together, and you can always just learn that. So I mean, it would take some time, but it wouldn't take too much time. I don't know. Like I said, I found the time to learn this while I was writing and drawing as well. So I don't see it being like too much of a stretch for me to pick something else up if I get comfortable enough to do that, you know, while doing everything else that I do. I don't know. I just like multitasking. I don't know. That's what I like. I like doing a lot of stuff at once, and also like focusing on one thing at a time. I've done that too, but multitasking can be fun. Is what I'm saying. Just takes a little bit longer, just a little bit. For me, it's time the time investment. Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. It's like wait, I mean, I feel like if you really want to do something, you would just make the time for it. But I mean, that's really up to the individual, to be honest. I mean, if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. It's really no way around that. But if you do want to do something, you could also just do that as well. So it's really I don't know. Like I said, I know what I like. Like I can easily uh, focus on progression just by doing just this, you know, and nothing else. I'm just not willing to do that yet. I think about it sometimes. Like I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't play Minecraft and just keep working on this. But I was like, man, I already did that today. You know, I don't, you know, I want to, you know, I don't want to, you know, I want to kind of pace myself in that regard. I don't want to like just. I don't think I'll ever burn out on art, but I don't want to find out if I can, you know. So I don't do it. That's the only reason why I don't do it. Only time I really burned myself out on art is when I first started doing digital art. Other than that, I draw regularly. Regularly. Okay. When does this dissolve that? Disengage this guy of that. Okay, that's already there. We got these little spaces that we got to fill in. So I'm going to fill them in. I don't know why I did that. We're just going to need to hit F. I burn out regularly because I don't have an end goal. It took me a long time to understand why. I just need to figure out what to make. I man, I am so eager to see just one completed page how I envisioned it in my head. That is like probably because the story is done. You know, I'm just make little tweaks here and there. All I have to do, like literally, I just want to just see a page done. I'm gonna try, and I want that. I want to see that moment where it all comes together. That is like the biggest motivation for me. I know I'll get there eventually, but well, that is like that is my end goal is to see the page and all and just and exactly how I thought it would would turn out. At least close enough. I don't have I don't have a photographic memory or eidetic, whatever, how the heck you say it. I don't have that kind of memory. So if I did, I'd be a lot better at drawing. I'd say that right now. I wouldn't even need to use references. All I would need to do is just to have the knowledge of how something looks, right? I guess that's how it works for those types of people that can do that. But I don't, okay? I forget things. I forget things often. So I don't have that kind of memory. But what I'm saying is it's going to be very close to how I envision it, okay? It might not be exact, but it's going to be very close to how I see it in my head. And I look forward to seeing the page done with all the color, everything, words, just a page. It doesn't even have to be posted yet. Just need to see the page. Building my mental library on backgrounds lately, I really, yeah. When I did that picture, I'm still actually working on the back. I forgot that I probably need to render the background a little bit more. And there are some color zones in the face that I forgot. But I'm gonna try to get that posted. I'm looking at an add-on. Maybe I don't know. I'm not really sure if I want to post it on anywhere yet. But when I'm looking at an add-on for this site that can just do a slideshow, I would be okay with that without having to post it just yet. Without having to post it onto a site or anything like that. Um, if I can just get just like stream art in a slideshow of some kind without having to post it anywhere, I'm gonna try to figure that out. I was looking at some add-ons. I'm not sure if that will fit what I'm looking for, but I'm looking for that. But yeah, I don't normally have a problem with backgrounds. It's just when I did that picture, I didn't really put a lot of effort into the background. It was more about the subject. And in hindsight, I think that was a mistake. So I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm gonna put the line art for the background and all that. I think I just did like a rough paint of it. But since the character itself turned out so well, it kind of makes the background look like shit. So I'm like, all right, let's not do that anymore. We got to put the same effort, without the background distracting from the subject, of course. But you have to put the same effort either way. So next time we're gonna do that, and I definitely want to make sure that that does not happen for the webcomic. So I'm gonna move this and see what happens. Okay, nothing. Okay, it's all connected. It didn't look like it was. I thought I could see through this line here, so I wanted to move that and see if there was a gap there. It was not. It doesn't look like a gap though. It isn't though. There's a polygon there, and you know what? We're gonna just prevent that from ever being a problem by dissolving that line, and now we can see for a fact that it is connected because there's no line there distracting us. You know what? I'm gonna dissolve this one too, because why not? I'm gonna grab that and just pull it over like so. Boom. But yeah, I can't really. That's how I used to do backgrounds when I did that type of stuff. I think because the art and the background were around the I guess I was using the same skill level for both, so it wasn't really noticeable back in like 2013 when I was doing that stuff and posting my art. But now I've put a lot of effort into making characters because for the webcomic and no background, and now I'm doing the background and I can kind of tell the difference. So I gotta do backgrounds more, is what I'm saying. That's my takeaway from doing that. So the next time I do a character piece like that, and I actually had an idea to remake Dread, one of my older characters, on stream, but I'm gonna try to focus on the meshes for now because we need to work on those. But that'll probably be the next one-off project that we do. I don't know when though, because like I said, I want to get to the point where we can do these easily and not have to learn things on the way. Just basically just do them and be done. But the next time I do a digital art piece, definitely going to do a better job with the background. And actually, it does have line art. It's just it's sketched, but it does have. Well, it's a sketch. It's not really. Let's just say it's incomplete. I kind of just had a basic rough idea of what I wanted to do without really thinking about it. But when I started to work on it, I'm like, man, I really skimped out on the background. So that's why I haven't posted it anywhere yet because it's not done. But I probably could have spent a couple more streams on it, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go back to doing meshes because that's the goal. The goal is to wait before I do that. Let me make sure. Okay, so the shoestring is a little uneven here. What I want to do is I'm going to take that vertex and I'm going to push it over to here. That way we can line those up nice and neat as possible. Because when we come back to this, it's obviously not as neat as we thought. So we're gonna have to spread these vertexes out a little bit. Okay, and then we can just put like maybe like another row here, and then have them connect here. I guess we'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. It's never a big deal. All right. I think I'm gonna fill this in, and then just this part in here, and then we're gonna stop here. All right. It's getting towards the end here of our streaming schedule, and I have other life stuff. You know how it is. Gotta go and hit the rock pile. Gotta hit the rock pile, huh? All right, I see you tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna fill this in and we're gonna be done for today. I can tell you that for the next well, at least until we're up to this point, we'll be working on this probably all this week. I'm gonna be able to do anything off stream right now because I'm working on a completely different project. But expect this for now. I know it's a little it's visually it's not super entertaining because we're just copying and pasting stuff, but it's part of the game, I guess. It's part of making a mesh, or at least a low poly mesh. At least, to my knowledge, this is the way I'm doing it. I don't know, maybe there's a better way. I've tried to see remesh, or I even have quad remesh here. It does this stuff automatically, but it just does not come out right. My characters look like burn victims when I do it, when I use that, when I use this quad remesh. This is made by the same people who made Z remesh. It does not work the same. I have to pump more polygons into it in order to get it close to the high poly mesh. And it's already above what it's already below what Z remesher can do. Like Z remesher can remesh this, and then even that is a little deformed. Like I said, I had problems with the eyelids with that, even at 130,000 polygons. But yeah, I would have to get quad remesh to go to at least 170 to match Z remesh. So this is why we're doing it manually. I didn't know anything. When I didn't know any better, um, I was just using Z remesh and just remeshing it with that. And I didn't, and it was really hard for me to notice that the eyelids weren't the same until I started rigging them. Then I was noticed. I was like, wait, what happened to the eyelids? I had to actually go back and pull up ZBrush and look at my model there, and it looked way better on ZBrush than it did when I remeshed it to Blender. So that's when I started to notice. I was like, okay, um, I'm not even sure where I even went wrong, to be honest. Maybe the original mesh didn't have the eyebrows either. I don't know, but they do now, and I can remesh them manually and keep all the details. If the form is right. This is how it looks when the form isn't right. But for the face, because we're gonna be doing a lot of close-ups and zoom-ins and whatnot, you can clearly tell where his eyelids are, and that little that the tear duct where the tear duct would be, and I know exactly where I would put the eyelashes and everything because it's done right. That's where you want to do that. You want to do it like that, but everywhere. This guy has fingernails, but I didn't do the fingernails right because it's not something I considered until I saw it done, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't do that." By the time I seen that, I had already done the hands, and I didn't want to redo them. So we're definitely going to make sure that the next mesh has properly remeshed hands. Okay. So I'm already making a mental note of the things that I need to work on for the next one. And as long as I keep that in mind, we will make improvements over time. Oops, I hit D. I don't know. I hope, usually hitting D is bad, but I hope I didn't delete anything. Oops. All right, so we're gonna take that. I'm gonna take that and move this way, like so. No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna move that back because that's where the shoestring is. I'm gonna keep that there. We'll maybe excuse that. That's a mistake that I'm just gonna have to. Well, not really. I'm pretty sure there's a way I can find around here. Let me use my brain for a second. This would be the way I would solve it, but I would take the line and put it here and then stretch it down and then move it over, but I'm not sure if I can do that. Oh, I can do that. Maybe I can do that. Well, no, it's gonna be sloppy. Maybe not this way. We'll leave it. Like I have an idea of how I would fix it, but it's gonna. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it to be honest. I'm gonna put the line there. Oh, we're way off. Whoa, buddy. So happens when you gotta play a memory game and you don't remember. All right, hold on. Let's get rid of those. Do I want to just fill that in? Do I? Do I? Do I? Do I? Do I? Do I? Do? Ooh. I'm gonna click this. I'm gonna fill that, but then I'm gonna take this one specifically. I'm gonna rotate it so it's a little straight. Rotate that. I'm gonna grab that so it doesn't clip because you can see where it's clipping into the thing. Excuse me. I don't know why I sneeze more on stream than I do off. I don't know why. Maybe it's from all the speaking. I don't know what it is. I don't. I swear, every stream I have to get in a sneeze. I don't know what it is. Probably pollen or something. Even though I'm not really allergic to pollen. But if somebody cuts grass somewhere, I can. Sometimes I feel that. I don't know. Moving on. We're gonna fill this in, and then I guess that'll be the end for today. What do we do? How many loops did we do? We did. Did we only do 2 loops today? I think we should set a target goal of 4 loops per stream so we can get done this week. 4, 8. We might have 2 to go. I don't know. We kind of got 1 here, so tomorrow will be this. I think we did 3 today. I think 4 is good progress. So, but we did 3 today. It's okay. We'll get there. I don't know. Maybe I did 4. I'm not really sure to be honest. Maybe I'll go back and look at the VOD and see how many loops I did today. course, we will be adjusting all of that. It gets quite scrunched, but it'll be all right. Like I said, I can see somewhat. It gets a little weird here, but we still have the baking. The baking will put the details where they need to be. But we should probably definitely consider this step when we are sculpting this. I think this is our first rodeo. This is our first rodeo. But I'm happy with what we were able to do so far, having not done this before. Let's see, click, click. All right, we're gonna get this side in here. There's really not much that we can do or that we need to do here. We just fill that in. Looks like it's gonna get a little dicey there, but I think let's see, let me look at it. I think when we adjust this, we can make it look a little better. So that's not really too bad. I want to fill that in. What's there? Nothing? Cool. All right, so we just have the shoestring. I'm gonna follow the shoestring, but we're not gonna fill that in till tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta delete those. I'm just gonna do it now so I don't have to do it tomorrow. We need that open and ready to go. And we have this floater here. We're gonna delete that too because there's no point in having something floating there. All right. We're gonna go back to edges and I'm gonna take this like this and do that. Okay. So we just have this little thing here. We're gonna fill that in. I want to take a quick look at what's on the bottom, which is nothing. All right, so we're gonna go. Wait. I don't want to just fill that in because. So we're gonna do it a different way. We're gonna go to vertex mode. Okay, I see. Like this. I think we can make that. I think we can manage that. Another row like that, and then we'll adjust it. We're going to have quite a bit of adjusting, but that should not be. I'm not really dreading that. I think we can manage that. That's why I'm just gonna accept some of the solutions here, filling in the gaps because I can see that it wouldn't take too much to adjust them to make them look nice and neat. I don't think that part will be done on stream though. I'm not gonna. I'm going to do another mesh and do this off stream once my current project is done, of course. All right, so what we can do here, I'm gonna dissolve that vertex there. Uh, Dissolve it. We don't delete it. We just want to dissolve it because we don't need it anymore. It's a perfect. Well, that this is a perfect. Well, that's not a perfect square, but this is square enough. All right, so dissolve that, and then we have a square there, and we'll just fill that in. And then when the time comes to adjust that, we'll make whatever adjustments we need to make there. Uh-oh, we got something selected there. All right, I guess we just selected it just now. Can we please unselect that? Let me do a quick search here for any glaring issues, like stuff being connected where they shouldn't be. All right, we're going in the boot and in the shoe, heel, whatever, all of that. All right. For the most part, there's nothing completely wrong, just some little clipping here and there. It looks like a boot. Mission accomplished. So far, anyway. All right, so we're moving. We're getting there. There's some progress. I mean, we had a little bit of a delay at the start of the stream there, and we did get cut off a bit, but There was nothing I could have done about that. It just happened. So let me go ahead and save the progress. Okay. I want to thank everyone who showed up today and those of you who watched the VOD and the YouTube archive. I appreciate you all stopping by and watching the channel. I will be back tomorrow. We're going to continue and hopefully get a lot more progress done with the boot tomorrow. All right. So until then, I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Okay.